Everyone's favorite Terraria bosses are back thanks to the CONSOLARIA mod. A mod that adds in all the content from the 3DS version, the mobile version, and even console versions of the game. So let's relive the nostalgia and hop in the game and check it out. We are here checking out the CONSOLARIA mod once again. It's been a couple years since the last time I checked it out, and I just like to go ahead and check it out again and let people know that it exists, because we probably honestly have a lot of people that are transferring from old Terraria to modern day Terraria, and bosses like Aram, Levis, and Turkor, they might be like, hold up, these are bosses I fought in my childhood. They're not in the base PC game. But that's why we got the CONSOLARIA mod, so we can see their beautiful faces again. Till this day, bro, I'm hoping and praying every time I see a new Terraria update or changelog or anything, even a teaser, I'm praying that we get these bosses back in the game. I know that Red Digit has like a vendetta against these bosses because they were made by 505 and other people. It's not his own creation, so I know he's got a little bit of a vendetta, so I don't know if we'll ever see him. All I do know is that the Orca is making a return, and that's all that matters, honestly. The boy's stiff as hell. He ain't even moving. We are with the CONSOLARIA mod. Let's hop straight into the bosses. Obviously, the boss fights are not going to be what they were back in the day, because those boss fights are honestly a little bit outdated. Their AI may not work as well. So a lot of these fights have been updated, and obviously, since we're going to show it off in master mode, they got a little extra. So let's start. Let's bring in Levis. I actually really like Levis. I feel like Levis fits greatly in Terraria's boss progression. Look at that. Right after King Slime before I Cthulhu. Perfect spot. Why not? But yeah, the fight, I don't even remember Levis's fight. I should fight Levis on some of the OG either mobile versions or 3DS version. I do have the 3DS version of Terraria sitting around. The only OG I fought from all of these bosses is Aram, and I barely remember his fight. I fought him on PS3 Terraria. I have played console Terraria before and I enjoyed it. Oh my god, look at that though. Levis hatching multiple. That is the scariest thing about Levis, is the fact that it can hatch multiple times and it makes this fight bad. On top of all the little diseaster bunnies that it brings in, this can be a tough fight, especially if you don't take care of these eggs, bro. I don't even know which one the OG one is, but I guess it doesn't matter anymore. Let's do some damage. Does Levis have any more beautiful attacks? Really just hops around just like a bunny would. A very scary looking bunny. We never really looked at Levis's design. It's kind of odd. Very terrifying looking bunny. But since it is a early game boss, there probably isn't gonna be too much. But let's take it out. Of course, we kill one, we gotta kill the other. I remember in a playthrough I did, it was a stream playthrough, and I think I posted all of it on the channel. And I think Levis in one of those stream playthroughs like hatched like 3 or 4 times, and it made that fight insanely tough. Let's go ahead, let me place that relic now. Let's see what this relic looks like. Oh, it's odd numbers. I don't know if I could even place it there, so let's place it down here. Yeah, dude, that looks terrifying, honestly. Next up after that is Turkor. Now, where do you fight Turkor in terms of progression here? It is before Deer Cops, before Wall of Flesh, so this should be one of the hardest pre-hard mode boss fights. Turkor might be my favorite in terms of looks out of all 3 of these dudes. Turkor is just sick, bro. Look at him. Look at him. Literally a giant turkey, and he's got the little spine, neck bones, I don't know. And he's just so cool looking. I like him. Aram is probably next, and then Levis. That's probably be my rankings right there. And then throw the old Queen Bee sprite 4th. Yeah, let's do some damage. We have to hit the head and kill it before we can do damage to the body itself. And when we do damage to the body, it actually has multiple phases. Now it has 2 heads. It's sort of like a Hydra. Kind of a very interesting and unique fight. I like that they redid it like this. I don't even know what Turkor's original fight is. I might have to look it up after this video is recorded. But we do the same thing again. Boom. One more time. Now it brings out 3 heads, and rinse and repeat for the Turkor boss fight. I think that's it. Yeah, there we go. Very cool. Very fun. I like that Levis and Turkor are obviously also holiday / real life events. You know, Easter, turkey. My bad, not turkey. Thanksgiving. But now we move on to the big boy. If any boss should make it back into the game, it should be Aram. He is the one boss that I believe should 100% make a return to regular Terraria, especially if they keep updating it instead of moving on to a sequel game. They might as well find a way to get his ass into the game. Let's bring in the legend himself, Aram. Oh my god. I love his design. It's a little ugly, but there's something about it. It's the nostalgia of it, bro, that makes it so great. I can't hate it. I really don't remember the OG fight. I don't remember it being too crazy though. Again, I might have to watch a bunch of videos about like the OG fights. But yeah, this is the Master Mode fight, so it should be a little crazy. As you can see, his laser game's kind of crazy. He's shooting a bunch of them. I actually want to see when you fight him. So you fight him after Plantera between Golem. I like that spot. Honestly, not too bad of a spot. Maybe if I were to choose a spot, maybe before Plantera, after the mechs, that or before the mechs. I feel like would also be a pretty solid spot. He's got a decent amount of health for matching another 100k. Hold up, my boy going into phase 2. Ew, that boy ugly. But he does switch up the attacks. Instead of red lasers, my boy's got the purple sides and the purple lasers now. I like what CONSOLARIA has done with the fights, made them more modernized, made them fit the game, current day game, especially with the release of Empress of Light and Queen Slime. Terraria boss fights are a little bit more updated. They definitely have a different design now. I'm hoping some more vanilla bosses in the future get that overhaul. Cough, cough, I'm looking at you. But good job, CONSOLARIA dev team. They've never steered me wrong. They've always done greatness. God damn, that was a lot of lasers. Let's get his ass out of here, though. I guess while we're at it, we might as well check out all 3 relics at the same time just to see what they look like. Beautiful. I like them. But yeah, let's go over the other things that CONSOLARIA adds. Obviously, it adds in all the weapons, the armors, accessories, the pets. Come on. I know y'all remember the pets. Some of my favorite pets are from console Terraria, specifically the ones that did damage. Do you remember that they did damage? Like, they were legit like summons before summons were a thing. Well, I think summons were a thing, but obviously not as big as a thing as today. Do you do damage? I don't remember which one did damage, if all of them did. Does the bat do damage? We need a bigger enemy. That's why. Go ahead, bat. Okay, these ones don't do damage. But quickly, before we go over all the pets and stuff, let's go over the enemies, because there was a bunch of enemies in other versions of Terraria that don't exist now, but thanks to this mod, they do. One of them being the Orca, of course, one of my favorite Terraria enemies all time. So I'm very happy that it's getting a whole new look, probably new AI, like it's probably going to be sick in the 1.4.5 version of Terraria. We got some ant lions. This one's kind of weird. Some of these enemies are very weird because some of them are just like reskins and retextures. But we do got the little albino enemies. I think it would be cool if these dudes were in the game regularly, more as of a super like rare enemy, just like a little bit of like a mini boss type enemy, a little stronger version of the ant lions that you could run into. After that, we got arc demons. These things look terrifying in this mod. I think before they were just like green, red demons, something like that. But look at these dudes. They got the little skull on their head. It honestly looks sick. I mess with these dudes. These dudes are actually really cool. We got a couple of dragon themed enemies, dragon hornets, which these are just like super powered moss hornets. I like the way these guys look. And then on top of that, we got dragon snatchers, also dragon theme looking snatchers, man catchers, whatever the hell those things are called, man eaters. And then we got the dragon skulls. You can find these things flying around the dungeon. A lot of dragon themed enemies, which is very interesting, which either the developers that did the other versions of Terraria, they either just really like dragons, as we'll see later with all the wyvern versions they had, which I mean, I don't hate it. I like dragons. That's a top 3 mythical creature. Might be number 1. But yeah, we got this vampire miners. These dudes look very, very scary. I'm trying to figure out like what the hell they are. They're obviously vampires and they're obviously miners, not the P. Diddy sort of miners or Drake type of miners. Like, what is that sprite? That looks so weird. I guess it's the side of his face and his teeth. But like, what's on his head? Is it a skull? I don't know. But those were the pre-hard mode enemies. Now we get to the hard mode enemies. This is where it gets a little bit hazy because I definitely don't remember some of these enemies. Like this axe right here. Was this in the game? Flesh axe? I don't think so. This might be a custom edition to fit the shadow hammer, which might have been a thing. I also don't remember. I gotta look at the Terraria wiki. And then we got some new mummies. We got the shadow mummies, which I think these were in the game back in the day. And then we also have flesh mummies. Disgusting looking. I like how they bounce a little bit when they walk. Gives them a little bit of extra movement. And then we got some slimes. These slimes exist. The shadow ones for sure exist. And these are kind of just like stronger versions of mother slimes because they're supposed to split into 3 little ones. But I guess they don't do that here. There's something about a different slime. And then we got flesh slimes. Obviously, we need a crimson version. Then we move on to the spectral enemies. Starting with the spectropod. It's just a gastropod, but spectral. Very interesting noises. I think it's the mana crystal noise. Spectral mummies. And then last but not least, spectral elementals. More beautiful elemental enemies. Everyone's favorite enemy, especially when it comes to farming the Rod of Chaos. My bad. Rod of Discord. All right. And then we move on to the sick enemies, the best enemies from this, and that is the wyverns. Let's start with the arc wyvern. I believe that all these versions of the wyvern should be in the game, and there should be different scenarios for encountering them. I don't know what those scenarios are, whether it's like, hey, maybe nighttime only arc wyverns show up, maybe daytime only regular ones show up, or maybe during a certain blood moon event this wyvern shows up. I don't know, but look at this dude, he just looks sick. And then on top of that one, there might be the coolest wyvern ever, which is the mythical one, which I believe is part of the Lunar New Year sort of set of items and equipment, whatever. It is a dope looking dragon. That should be all the enemies, I'm pretty sure. And then there's obviously one NPC. If you watch my Terraria shorts, you know about that boy, Mick Money Pants, or is it MC Money Pants? I don't know. What an interesting NPC that they added in. In this version, you can invest gold in him, and he gives you like the max luck buff, which is pretty cool. Again, I like how the CONSOLARIA devs have reworked a bunch of things to fit modern day Terraria. Also, if you kill him, you get his hat. Why am I blue? Let us go ahead and breeze through some of the weaponry here, because we don't want this video to be super long. We got the Tizona. A lot of these weapons are from OG Terraria, and then some of them are custom made to just fit like other things. Like obviously there wasn't Summoner back in the day, especially as prominent as it is now, so they added in some stuff for Summoner, like this turkey staff, which pretty much turns us into our own Turkor. But yeah, let's look at all the weapons that I believe did exist. Like the Sharanga did exist. I think this shoots arrows through the floor and walls, which is sick. The egg cannon also existed. We got the Roman candle, which is a very interesting mage weapon. What else? Vulcan repeater, I think, was one. And then most of these are probably custom now. These firecrackers might have been the thing. Obviously, we got the holy hand grenade. Come on now. One of my favorite Terraria weapons ever. The holy hand grenade actually should be back in the game. Forget everything else but Aram and the Orca. The holy hand grenade should be in the game just because it's so beautiful, man. And they got like a stronger variant, I think this is. A little bit scarier. Wait a minute. No. That's the version that blows up over and over and duplicates. I'm not trying to blow up my setup, bro. I spent a minute making that. As you can see though, there is a bunch of not only vanities that are sick. I believe these vanities here, the Monokuma, however you pronounce this, is in like the Nintendo versions, like the Switch versions of Terraria. I don't know if you need like a certain version, like the Japanese version or what, but I believe that these are in the Nintendo version. I think. I'm not 100% sure on that. But there's all that. There's more stuff like this Toro fit is hard, the mythical line, of course the Horn God set, which is one of my favorite vanities, but a lot of cool armor sets. We got a purple Link outfit here, and then we have the armors. You have the OG sprites in here, the ancient versions. If you want the older sprites, you really want to be nostalgic, you could exactly replicate them. Boom, look at that. But if you're feeling like, hey, I want some newer updated sprites to fit modern day Terraria, this mod got you. Shout out CONSOLARIA yet again. There's even custom armor sets for the newer class, aka Summoner, I guess we call it new. And then they even made a full Astara set, because I believe only the boots of Astara existed. So they're like, hey, let's add a whole Astara set, which is pretty cool. Everything that CONSOLARIA developers do is pretty good. I like all the additions, all the tweaks they did. They even got things like this Horn of Plenty, which I think is the expert mode or master mode drop. Expert mode, which this is pretty much an infinite 100 health potion, which is very nice. They even added in like kites and stuff. Like, come on, man. And then again, like I said, we covered the pets. They got a lot of the classic pets. Of course, we got the elf. We got the elf. Why is he still here? We got the golden turtle. That thing's sick. We got the, what is this? Aqua mini version. That's not old, that's new. We got the wolf pet, which is one of my favorites easily. The wolf pet or the zombie one was my favorite. We got the leprechaun. He low-key, he kind of looks scary. We got the pet android for all my Android phone users. We even got an old ass lady. Where is she from? I have no idea. I think one of the other best ones, oh, there's a drone. That's kind of cool. The other best one is the worms pet. Where's the worms pet at? We got Cupid, light pet, cool. There we go. I think this dude makes noises too, doesn't he? But yeah, that was the CONSOLARIA mod. Yet again, a very good mod, especially if you are an OG console, 3DS, mobile player, whatever. Then you will enjoy this mod, because adding in all these previous content, bosses, all that is very nostalgic. It's very fun to play with. I usually have this mod installed for every run of Terraria that I do, modded. Even some like more vanilla like packs where I don't have too many crazy mods installed. Like this mod has to be in here. It's pretty much like missing content, cut content. Will there be a day where we see some of this content in modern day Terraria? I hope so, but who knows? That's up to Relogic. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell if y'all like the video. I will be seeing y'all in the next one. Peace out.